There are many delicious ways to enjoy Spam. Hormel's canned meat product has been around for decades, and people have been innovating with it for a while now. So keep watching, and then make sure to stock up on a few dozen cans. You've probably seen sliced up hot dogs added to mac and cheese, so the concept of adding lunch meat to your cheesy pasta isn't exactly breaking the mold, even if it's never crossed your mind before. The thing about Spam is that its shape lends itself to slicing, cubing, or dicing into nice even pieces, allowing you to distribute it evenly through your mac and cheese. Plus, the size and shape of how you cut the Spam gives you the ability to achieve different sensations when you mix it into your pasta. For instance, if you like bigger, meatier bites, you can cut larger cubes that you simply mix in as you cook the mac and cheese, allowing it to heat through without crisping up. On the other hand, if you prefer smaller, crispier pieces, you can dice the Spam and pan fry it as your mac and cheese cooks, crisping up the outside before you toss it in. It might not be the fanciest meal, but that doesn't mean it's not popular, quick, and delicious. If you used to have a routine of swinging through the drive-thru at McDonald's or Starbucks to pick up an egg and meat-filled breakfast sandwich, but now you find yourself working from home, there's no reason that your morning meal needs to change. With nothing more than a can of Spam, a slice of cheese, an egg or two, and your favorite bread, you can whip up your own breakfast sandwich in just a few minutes. Simply slice a piece of Spam off that block of meat, aiming for a thickness that's roughly the same size as a piece of breakfast sausage. Heat up a skillet over medium-high heat and pan fry the Spam, searing the outside to a slight crispiness and allowing the inside to heat through. Then simply prepare your eggs your favorite way. Scrambled or fried are of course the classic breakfast sandwich options. Next, butter and toast your bread. We recommend using the skillet to get a nice grilled flavor. And finally, layer all your ingredients. The best thing about a Spam breakfast sandwich is that you're unlikely to find it offered at any chain restaurant. And because you're making it at home, you can personalize it however you like. For instance, choose different types of cheese, add a slice of tomato or a handful of spinach, or cut out all the extras, and enjoy the unblemished flavor of a slice of Spam between two halves of an English muffin, thick slices of bread, bagels, or even croissants. Generally speaking, when you add meat to a salad, it's best to choose chicken, steak, or blackened fish to really level it up and intensify the fresh flavors. But salads that typically feature diced ham or crumbled bacon, or mayonnaise-based cold salads can easily be revamped to include Spam. For instance, consider your classic Cobb salad. It's typically topped with 3 different proteins: hard-boiled eggs, crumbled bacon, and grilled chicken. But you could easily substitute the bacon or chicken for diced and pan-fried Spam instead. Likewise, considering that a chef's salad already comes topped with cold lunch meat, usually turkey or ham, replacing the standard meat with Spam is a natural option to mix it up. And if you're looking for a way to add extra protein to your egg salad sandwich, simply whip out your favorite egg salad recipe and mix in some finely chopped pieces of Spam. On the surface, adding Spam as a pizza ingredient might not sound as appetizing as classic toppings like sausage, pepperoni, or even ham. But really, that's just because you're not used to hearing the phrase Spam pizza. There's not much difference between slices of preserved and processed pepperoni compared to slices of processed and preserved Spam. So when making homemade pizza, all you have to do is add thin slices or finely diced Spam to the pie, just as you would any other pizza topping.
Pizza, going tummy, me so hungry, me so hungry.
If you're looking for ideas on pizza night, you can keep it simple and top your crust with tomato sauce, cheese, diced Spam, and thinly sliced bell peppers and onion. Or if you're a Hawaiian pizza lover, simply replace the ham with slices of Spam. The flavor sensation will be slightly different from the classic version, but you'll still get the sweet pop of pineapple against the salty and savory flavor of Spam to titillate your taste buds. Macaroni and cheese isn't the only pasta that you can add Spam to. Any pasta recipe that's served with ham or bacon makes for a promising option to substitute Spam. For instance, spaghetti carbonara recipes are often made with prosciutto, but you can easily dice and pan-fry Spam before cooking the other ingredients, which are usually eggs, Romano and Parmesan cheese, and pepper for seasoning. And once it's ready, just serve it over the freshly cooked spaghetti. Likewise, if you're making a cold pasta dish to serve at a picnic, simply add diced Spam in place of diced ham or crumbled bacon. The only trick with cold pasta dishes is deciding if you need to pan fry the Spam to give the outside a crispier texture before adding the meat to your pasta to chill in the fridge. You may decide that you prefer the natural, uncooked texture of Spam more, in which case you can simply dice up the meat and toss it in with your pasta, veggies, and dressing before sticking it all in the fridge to cool.
I keep it cool.
Fried rice is one of those delicious Asian dishes that lends itself to a variety of added proteins. This is because the focus is more on the whole mixture of rice, veggies, and proteins than it is on a single type of meat. That's why you can find veggie fried rice, chicken fried rice, pork fried rice, shrimp fried rice, and well, you get the picture. So there's certainly no reason not to try Spam fried rice. Making this particular dish is refreshingly simple. You just need to start off by cooking rice. Using a rice cooker is especially easy. And while the rice is cooking, heat oil over high heat, stir-frying onions and garlic before adding diced Spam to brown at the edges, and cook it through. Once that's done, add any additional stir-fried veggies that you might want. Diced carrots, peas, and peppers are all good choices. When all the veggies are cooked through, mix in the rice. Once everything is hot, stir in the eggs, soy sauce, salt, and pepper, and in just a few minutes, your Spam fried rice is ready to serve. The idea of including Spam in desserts might not sound like a great idea at first, but try to reserve your judgment for a few minutes. If bacon can be used in desserts ranging from cupcakes to ice cream, there's really no reason why Spam can't be used in a similar fashion. The trick is to incorporate it as a savory hint, rather than the main event. One easy way to give it a try without investing a ton of time cooking is to try your hand at Spam s'mores. All you need are the regular s'mores ingredients: halved graham crackers, a chocolate bar, and large marshmallows. Then add thinly sliced pieces of Spam, cut to fit between the graham cracker sandwich.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Alright, who cut one?
These are s'more stuff.
To prep your s'mores, simply fry up the slices of Spam over medium-high heat, getting them nice and crispy on the outside. If you slice the Spam with the same thickness as a piece of bacon, you'll end up with a nice texture. Break apart your chocolate bar into pieces that will fit on top of the graham crackers. Start your s'mores by layering a slice of Spam on one graham cracker half with a piece of chocolate on top. Place your marshmallows on a skewer and grill them over your stove, or an outside grill, until they're golden brown on the outside and soft and melty on the inside. As soon as the marshmallows are ready, layer them on top of the chocolate and top with another graham cracker half and enjoy. Soups are a great option for lunch or dinner on cold winter days, and since you can often just throw a whole bunch of ingredients in a pot with water or broth to cook, they're an easy crowd pleaser. For any soup that typically calls for ham or bacon, like split pea soup or bacon and potato soup, you can simply sub in Spam for the other meat. But really, almost any soup can be spruced up with some Spam. When you're looking for an easy soup recipe on a work night, try making a slow cooker soup with Spam. All you really need are canned veggies to begin. You can opt for whatever your favorites are, but for a tomato-based soup, try options like V8, diced tomatoes with onions and green chilies, mixed veggies, okra, and corn. Then you'll also need some Spam cut into small cubes, and spices like salt, pepper, paprika, and hot sauce. Throw all the ingredients into your slow cooker and cook on low for 8 hours. When you get home from work, simply spoon into bowls, top with cheese and chips, and enjoy. Spam is designed to be cut into slices of whatever thickness you prefer, making it an excellent option when building burgers at home. Furthermore, Spam can be grilled, heated in the oven, pan-fried, or eaten without additional cooking, making the varieties of burgers or sandwiches you can enjoy pretty much endless. Even McDonald's has capitalized on the appeal of Spam burgers. So the next time you're craving a gourmet-level burger but you don't feel like going out, simply grab a can of Spam from your pantry and get to work. For instance, try grilling up a couple of thick slices of Spam to layer with cheddar and pepper jack cheese, sautéed onions and jalapenos, sriracha mayonnaise, and slices of lettuce and tomato for a spicy burger. Or you can opt for smaller pieces of Spam while aiming for a narrowness similar to fajita meat. Then pan-fry them with onions and bell peppers. Layer them in a roll with provolone and mozzarella cheese and dill pickle slices, which will end up giving you a fresh take on the Philly cheesesteak.
SPAMBURGERS, 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 SPAMBURGERS.
The beauty of a good casserole is that you can hide pretty much anything inside. Not that you would want to hide the fact that you're serving Spam, but if you typically whip up a casserole with a different meat and you haven't been able to make it to the grocery store for a while, you can probably sub in Spam without raising many eyebrows. Fair warning, Spam doesn't taste like ground beef or chicken. But as long as you just tell your family that you're trying something new, they probably won't ask too many questions, especially when your casserole is loaded with cheeses, creamy fillings, and tasty toppings like breadcrumbs, fried onions, or even tater tots. In fact, a tater tot casserole is the perfect way to try using Spam. Simply sauté onions and cubes of Spam in a frying pan. Whisk eggs, cheddar cheese, salt, pepper, and other seasonings in a large bowl before mixing in a bag of frozen tater tots and the onions and Spam. Cook the entire mix in a casserole dish for about 45 minutes, waiting for the eggs to firm up and turn golden brown. And just like that, you have the perfect Spam casserole that's practically guaranteed to satisfy the entire family. And soon enough, you'll be preaching the gospel of Spam everywhere.
I love it. I'm having spam, 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 baked beans, spam, spam, and spam.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite foods are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.